again. What we're going to do today is learn about decreasing your stitches on purpose, not by accident, by design. So let's get started. So here we are. I've already cast on 20 stitches and I've done a knit row and a purl row. So that's the start of our stocking stitch. So we're going to decrease the stitches. We're going to decrease the stitches at either end. So we're going to work with those two stitches and these two stitches first of all. So what we do, instead of going through that one, which is the first stitch, we're going to go into the stitch behind and at the same time the first stitch. So then we're going to knit them as we would one stitch, and then that is your decrease. So we'll knit all the way over to the other end now. This is where we're thankful we've only cast on 20 stitches. There we are. Now, if this video is the first one you've seen in my series, please do go back and have a look at the first one, which tells you how to cast on, how to do the plain knit stitch, and then we graduate through purl stitch and come up with stocking stitch. Now we've come to the last two. Again, we're going to do it in exactly the same way. We're going to go through the last one and the stitch next to it. We turn that over and see how I've gone through both. So that needle has gone through both of those last stitches. Then we come round as normal, round the needle between up and off. Now I have decreased at either end. Okay, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So I'm going to do a purl row next because we're still in the sequence of doing the stocking stitch. There we are, coming up and towards me this time when I pop the point of the needle through. And we're not decreasing on the purl row, we're only going to decrease on the knit row. There we are, so making our way across till we get to the end of our 18 stitches now. There we go. Oop, we need a bit more yarn. Unrolling. There we go. So, almost there. And then we can swap needles and go back to the knit row. There we go, 18 stitches purled. So I'll show you this again. I'll take it slow. You're going to put the point of your needle not into the first stitch, but through the second stitch and the first stitch. So both together. Then bring the wool round as normal, knit your stitch and pop it onto the other needle. 2 stitches become 1. All the way over to the other side again. There we are. Just moving it along. Almost there. Until we get to the last 2 stitches. And I'll show you again. Go in through the back stitch, through the one next to it as well, wool round the needle as normal, up and off. 1 stitch becomes 2. There we go. And you can see I'll put that needle down, just getting in the way. How your knitting is sloping inwards. Yeah. Now, I'm going to carry on with this, and then I'll show you what happens when we get to the pointy end. Stay with me. Right, so I've done a bit more decreasing, and you can definitely see how the shape is changing. And all I've done is only decreased on the knit rows, no decreasing on the purl rows, and I'm already getting this shape. Here we are. So that is how you decrease at either end of your work. So I'm going to cast on another 20 stitches now. No, actually 21 stitches now, so I will have a central stitch, and I'll show you how to decrease in the middle of your work. Okay, so far I have cast on 21 stitches and then I purled back, leaving me to start on the knit row. So we're going to knit 8 stitches because we're going to work on the centre. And in this case, our centre stitch is stitch number 11. And we need to work on stitch 9 and 10. So let's see how many we've got. One more. Right, so 2 stitches away from the centre stitch, which is this one, and we're going to combine these two to make one. So through both stitches, and that makes one stitch. Then you knit the centre stitch, and we're going to put these 2 stitches together now to make one stitch. So that's a decrease either side of a centre stitch. I'm going to knit all the way across. There we are. And then I'll do a purl row. Swap the hands round. Well, your needles round, you know what I mean. Can't take your hands off. There we are. And then we do the purl row. So you should all by now be fully aware of what a purl row is, how we combine a knit row and a purl row to form the stocking stitch. There we go, all the way over. And we will have 2 less stitches on this row. Nearly there. There we go. 2 left. Right, so we're going to go again on the knit row. We're going to decrease either side of that central stitch again. So this time we're going to stop once we've knitted 7. Three, 4, 5, 6 and 7. Right, now we have 2 stitches, the centre stitch and the other 2 stitches. These are the ones we're going to be working on. So we're going to take 2 of those stitches and knit them at the same time by pushing the needle through both of them. Then knit the centre stitch and then decrease by taking 2 stitches together and knitting them as one. There we are. And then continuing all the way across. And there you have it. Put that down. Now, can you just about see that centre stitch is here and the decreased stitches are either side. And as you carry on doing this, not decreasing on the purl, only decreasing on the knit stitch, either end of the centre stitch, so your work will change shape. So I'm just going to do a couple more rows like that and then show you what it looks like. Right, so you can see now how the work goes in here towards the centre, how we've decreased the number of stitches on the needle and the work has changed shape. So this is just another way of decreasing, giving you a nice central line. Okay, so this is all getting very technical now. I hope you're managing to keep up, but if you're not, please feel free to watch the video again. Right, so there you have it. You've learnt to decrease, and it'll probably take a little bit of practice, but you've got the videos and you can keep watching. So I look forward to seeing you next time, and I've really only got one more thing to say to you. You know what it is. If you like, share and subscribe to these videos, I'll be super grateful. So thank you very much, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.